Hi, welcome back to the channel. So today I'm going to be talking about the negatives of spinal fusion. So in my previous video I talked all about the positives. There's so many positives to having spinal fusion surgery, but I think it's still really important that we address some of the negatives that can come from having spinal fusion. So I can only talk from my perspective. I had my spinal fusion surgery 9 years ago now, so it has been quite a long time, and obviously the pain etc has changed throughout this time, but I'm just going to be talking about like things that still affect me now, to kind of give you an idea if you are thinking about having spinal fusion, about how it might still affect you, in 10 years time, because it does. So let's get into it. So for me, I have pain almost daily. So I can do a lot of things to reduce the pain, but I still am in some amount of pain each day. So mostly in the morning I will wake up in pain because I've been lying down all night. I will then move around in the morning and I'll be absolutely fine all morning, no pain really. Obviously for the past 9 years, I guess, I've been in education, so I've obviously gone through school, college, onto university, etc. And therefore I had kind of like the job of just like sitting at a desk most days. So for me, sitting down at a desk is a struggle a lot of the time. So maybe I can sit at a desk for an hour and get some really good work done, but after an hour I do need to move, and that can be quite annoying when you're like in the flow or you're actually in university in a lecture. It can be really hard and really embarrassing to get out of your seat in a lecture and just leave the lecture hall because you are in so much pain. So for me, I did architecture, and on one day, like throughout all the years of university, we just have a full day of lectures. So that's like probably like a working day, so like 9 till 5 of sitting in a lecture hall with 1 hour lunch break. And I found this almost impossible. I would be taking painkillers every day. I don't really like to take painkillers, but I'd have to just get through it. And obviously you can let your lecturers know at uni, and so it's not that weird if you just jump out of the lecture room. But yeah, for me, I don't actually think I let them know, but you should probably do that. But yeah, pain is a big one, and I'll just go through some of the other things that cause me a lot of pain now. So as I've just mentioned, sitting is one. So if you have a job where you are sitting down a lot of the time, you do need to let your employer know. Maybe get one of those rise and fall desks, or have the opportunity to move around the office, but you just cannot, well, I cannot be sat all day and not leave my desk. Like, you do need to be doing a lot of moving around and stretching, going for a big walk at lunchtime if that's possible. The second one that causes me pain that I've mentioned is laying down. So obviously you lay down all night when you go to bed, but for me, yeah, if I ever lie in, I will be in more pain than just getting up in the morning. And I know this, but yeah, for me, having like quite a soft mattress really does help. I notice if I sleep at other people's houses or whatnot and they have a harder mattress, that I do end up in a lot more pain the next morning, so be aware of that. Another one is standing. So you may think like that you don't necessarily ever stand for a long period of time, and most of the time you don't, but there has been a few occasions where I'm like, oh my gosh, I am stood and I'm in so much pain. So one is like going to festivals where you may be like walking around the different stages, but then really you just kind of stood in one spot. That for me is probably the most pain over like sitting and laying down, because you just stood there, feel like you're just putting so much pressure like on your back to like hold yourself up. Yeah, I suggest getting a seat or just like sitting down. But yeah, or even standing, you know, when you go like shopping with your friends or family, and you find yourself just stood around, that can cause me a lot of pain. So I have had to learn how to get comfortable with basically just sitting down anywhere. Yeah, that's always fun. So the next one I actually mentioned in my positives of spinal fusion, but I am also going to be mentioning it here. So that is travelling. So for me, I love travelling. I live in England and I've been to lots of places in Europe, like throughout university, and I've also taken longer trips, such as me and my boyfriend went for a month to Thailand, and that was absolutely amazing, but it did impact me and my back in a few different ways. So one is the actual travelling, the being on a plane for a long period of time. Another one is like the mattresses. When you get there, they might be like really, really thin, barely a mattress at all. And another one is like carrying a backpack, so you need to learn how to travel light. I definitely need to learn how to do that more. I'll be going through the travelling side of it a lot more in a future video, giving you a few more like hints and tips about that. So the next one is carrying and lifting. So while I go to the gym quite happily, sometimes when I'm in a lot of pain, I cannot like lift a big glass of water off the side to my mouth, because I'm leaning over, I'm putting a lot of pressure on my back, or sometimes I can't pick something off the floor. This can be really frustrating, but you've just got to listen to your body. There's literally no point in trying to lift something and then causing injury to yourself, and then causing you to worry, and it's just definitely not worth it. So just listen to your body. You know what your body can do. So the next negative is career. So as I've mentioned about the sitting down, for me personally, I cannot see myself in a job where I am in an office where I'm just sat at a desk all day. I just don't think I could physically do it for any length of time. This is obviously something that's like really quite like got to me a bit, because a lot of jobs you are based in an office, and obviously I went to university and I've got a master's in architecture, and to be in an architecture practice, it is mostly desk based. So that's something that you really need to think about. But I do know people who sit at a desk quite happily, and they're happy because they are sat rather than stood. And there's some people that are questioning, like on the Facebook group forums, like if they can go and be a nurse, because obviously they'll be on their feet a lot. But it's just completely down to you, and you've just got to listen to your body. And although it's a negative, I think it'll be okay. There is lots of jobs, and you can have lots of jobs in different like situations, and you will find something that's right for you. So try not to worry like I do. That concludes the negatives of spinal fusion. I am going to be making lots more videos about scoliosis and spinal fusion. So make sure to subscribe, and I will see you soon.